So I always appreciate the opportunity to talk about Nurture Home because it amazes me how many people don't know about Nurture Home, and we have grown by leaps and bounds even in the past year.
We reach women who have been homeless on the streets, or may have been living in their vehicles, may have been fleeing from a domestic violence situation.
It helped me and Emily grow up again, come out of our shells, be more outgoing, and come to appreciate life again.
I'm not abusive, I'm not on drugs, I just fell into a really hard place and had my son with me there.
Nurture Home actually gave me my life back. They taught me it's okay to ask for help, it's okay to trust people.
So Nurture Home is a home, exactly what we say. A home where it's calm, a home where women can come and they can just have that opportunity to be in a positive environment and have that time to themselves where they are able to just debrief and get rid of some of those layers of stress.
I told some of the ladies this morning that it's their stories that convey the message. I can go out and speak about Nurture Home and speak about our interventions and our philosophies and our mission, which is restoring hope to homeless women and children. But it is the stories of actual women who come through the doors, who sleep in Nurture Home, who develop just a different affect in their facial expressions, in their motivation. That is the story of Nurture Home.
My name is Judith. I came to Nurture Home in, I think, the spring of 2012 with my daughter Emily. We were in the Cumbie Center before this, but I left my husband in 2011, October 29th, after he tried to shoot himself in the bedroom. He had locked himself up. I called 911. My daughter was screaming and yelling, freaking out. Daddy's gonna shoot himself, Daddy's gonna shoot himself. 911 showed up, arrested him, got the shotgun from him. And after that, the police officers came back and said, "Ma'am, do you need to go somewhere safe?"
I used to live in Virginia, that's where I'm from. I got pregnant and became homeless living in Virginia. And I went to go live in a shelter up there. And then my uncle passed away 2 years after my mom had passed away. And those were like my parents, so my uncle was kind of like the last parent I had.
I found Nurture Home. I had went into the Aurora Pavilion. From the Aurora Pavilion, I went to Cumbie Center Safe House. And my time was, I had stayed at Cumbie Center Safe House for, I think it was almost 3 months. And the ladies there helped me to get into Nurture Home. And I came to Nurture Home and I found structure. I got some structure in my life when I came to Nurture Home.
They gave me an hour to pack a bag or two. Emily was, of course, frantic, in tears, crying, screaming, running around the house, trying to find her favorite toys that she thought she could take. We had a big suitcase, and she had, I think, a backpack at the time that we were able to take. They took us to the Cumbie Center, which I'm very grateful for, that they had availability at that time. After that, I came here, and Miss Lisa was the one doing the interview, and it was pretty intimidating because, there were certain guidelines, and I personally didn't think I would meet them because I was very shy and insecure and scared, because this was a big step up from where I was at a point in my life. So Miss Lisa said, "Sure, we'll take you." And I'm super grateful for that, because I don't know where it would be right now if Miss Lisa wouldn't have gave me a chance to come here and live here.
when I got there, I was told that I wasn't allowed to stay, and me and my brother got into a really big fight. And then the next day, he dropped me off me and my 2-month-old baby at the time, off at the Salvation Army. I have recently been diagnosed with blood clots, one in my leg and one in my lungs. The one in my lungs is not there anymore, thank God, but I still have one in my leg going all the way down my leg. While I was in the hospital, I told them there I was being very honest, because I believe honesty is the best policy. And I told them that I was homeless and that I really don't have any family that will come and take my baby while I was in the hospital. So they had to call DSS.
I've been in abusive relationships off and on all my life. I've really been beat down, but today, I don't let that define who I am today. That's my past. I'm not going to forget where I came from, but I also am not going to forget where I want to go in life.
I believe for women, we can't truly make changes until we learn how to ask for help. I hear that so many times, and that's something I have a hard time with. I grew up in a family with a very strong mom and a dad who I was just his pride and joy, but he struggled with alcoholism, and so my childhood was a little shaky, and there was a little bit of uncertainty as to how my evenings were going to be at times. Of course, I had a bed to sleep in, but I can relate to the uncertainty of some of the children who come to Nurture Home, just not quite sure how the home environment's going to be or where we'll be home. So we carry those things in our hearts, our childhood experiences, both the wonderful ones and those that were at times a little scary and traumatic. I was in an abusive relationship beginning in my early 20s, almost until I was 27 or 28. And I was separated from my family. As I've grown and matured, and especially grown in my faith, I understand that my family just didn't know what to do. They didn't throw me away. They just, didn't know what to do with my choice. And at the same time, I was very trapped by that horrific abuse. And so when I tell the women at Nurture Home that I understand, I know it's a struggle then for them to truly believe that, because they see the Lisa that I am now. But it really doesn't matter to me that they believe me, because it's not about their belief, it's that I'm able to truly understand them.
It was a lot of struggle. I was suicidal. I tried at least once when we were together, but Emily walked into the room, and I guess she saved me, because I was like, why do this? Why be selfish if you have this cute little girl? I'm lucky it didn't work. I really was. I got a job when I came here. I started working at the food line down the road. So I would work there, walk there every day, and come home and take care of my child. After that, I started volunteering at the SPCA, because animals always have been my passion. So I would go there if I had time to volunteer. And then I went to Aiken Tech, actually, doing the vet assistant class.
I want to go to school for cosmetology and nails, and I want to start earning money, and so I can get on my own feet, so I won't ever have this problem ever again.
It's a safe place to be, but they also have rules that you have to go by. They're not hard rules, but they teach you to be more independent, to be more self-sufficient. They lead you in the right way, but they encourage you to take the steps that you need in order to find places and things that you can do to better yourself.
We're here to help be alongside them, to help them to find a permanent housing solution for their families. We're here to help them with their self-determination, help them with getting counseling, some financial management, some financial counseling, and other areas of resources that can help them become more stabilized and have a better living opportunity for them and their families.
Women can come into Nurture Home because they're homeless, and that homelessness comes from many different avenues. They may have lost their job, they may have been referred through Cumbie Center, which is our emergency domestic violence shelter here, and it's short term.
We're doing a survey to find out, it's a point-in-time count for essentially a homeless assessment.
Because Nurture Home is a program that serves the homeless, we have for a long time needed to look more closely at the issue of homelessness in Aiken County.
The point in time is actually one day of the year. We're going to see how many homeless people were homeless on that day by the definition, by the federal government's definition.
And that's done nationwide on this day?
I believe wholeheartedly we can't really affect an issue until we understand it more clearly. We need to know how many truly homeless people are in Aiken County. Naturally, it's important for funding that may give us more shelters. We turn women away every day. Our Salvation Army shelter, which is an emergency shelter, turns people away.
2013, what was it, like the spring of 2013? I left here.
To live independently is our goal.
It was a big step out of my comfort zone because I was comfortable here, obviously, but you know, it was time to go and let someone else take my place.
I got into a job training program out at Vocational Rehabilitation Center. I worked out there for 4 months. I worked for 3 months and they gave me a month extension. And I had to get up every day and catch the bus and go to work. So that was my structure. And because when I was out there before I came to Nurture Home, I didn't really have any structure in my life. I was just existing, I wasn't living.
I believe that I can somehow make a difference in someone's life.
Over time, they become more determined, they become more empowered. They begin to see that life can be different for them, and that is what we see as turning the corner.
Don't give up, that it does get better. You have to believe in yourself, and it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for help. The first thing, it is okay to ask for help.
I asked God for a mighty work to do, and He sent me to Nurture Home.
I tell them that their story becomes my story, and it's because the things that they say, the growth that I see in them, motivates me to continue, not just in this work, but just as a woman trying to live beyond hardship.